Hi, welcome to part 3 of the famous series. So in part 3, we're going to use the system of nodes and components to build a scene. So let's start that. So I'm going to say famous create famous 3, and that creates the boilerplate as we saw in the previous tutorials. So let's open the boilerplate in our editor, and now you can see that we have our index HTML, you have your index JS. So let's get rid of all the boilerplate code that's here, and because we want to create a scene which has a background, we want a custom node to hold to act as the container for our background. So we're going to create a custom node. So just say custom node.js, and this is going to extend node. So I already have a snippet for our custom node constructor, and it's pretty generic, but basically what it's doing is it's taking in some arguments in the constructor and then setting the size, the position, and setting the background image and the color. So let's go ahead and save that. And in our index.js, we have to call the custom node. So the call is pretty simple. First, we create a scene which has on the body tag, we add a root node to our scene, and we add a child to the root node with by passing in some arguments into the constructor. Now, if you notice, I passed in an image in the custom node constructor which does not exist. So I need to add that image to the correct folder. So if I go in here, I can copy that image from my assets folder. It's called parallax for buildings, and hopefully I can find the right file name. Yeah, so let's do that. I might have to resize that image, but let's try it like this. So I have the image now, and if you notice, I have the image here. Now it's a pretty large image, and we may need to resize it later, but let's just see if this displays. So let's go back to our CLI and say famous dev. Now, because we're on the 0.6 tree, which has a bug which has been fixed in the develop branch, we'll have to switch the develop branch like we did in the last tutorial. So let's do that. So I'm going to, I'll first let it run so that it shows me the error in the console. But once it shows the error, we can fix it by running so it's still running. Okay, now it's done. So there is the blank that we expected, and it's saying custom node is not defined. So the first thing we have to fix is we have to call custom node here. So we say custom node equals require, and then save that and refresh. So this is the error that we saw earlier also in the previous tutorial. So let's go ahead and fix that. So we'll say npm install famous engine /develop dash dash save, which saves it to back JSON. And then we'll have to run an npm cache clean and npm install after this, because npm doesn't clean the cache automatically. So npm cache clean, npm install. Famous dev. And there we should see the image displayed. Now, obviously, this image needs to be resized and centered, so we'll do that in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.